Hello?
Hello?
Aaron, what's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
Doing well, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, man. Well, thank you so
Hanging out
much.
in Philadelphia tonight.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, man. Thank you for, doing for doing the interview, and we're proud to have you on our cover next month.
Oh, great. Yeah, thanks, man.
All right. For one, I want to say that I'm a big fan. Like, I am a fan like no other. Like, one of the I honestly think that you guys are one of the greater acts that have come out, in the past 15 years. And
Wow, thank you.
in your new album, the previous album before that, it's pretty much all killer, no filler. And that is like, when do you see
that's
that?
A great, that's a great saying right there. All killer, no filler. It could be a killer's album
Yeah.
title.
So thank you again. Tell me about the new album. Like, what mindset were you in while creating?
The first record was an experiment. The second record was a very, very, a much darker, alienated record, because I felt really alone after this accidental breakout success of the first record, and I went very much inward and became a bit paranoid and sort of wanted to just keep it all in front of me. And then, I'd never made a sophomore follow-up record with Anticipation. So once that was made and I survived that sophomore record, and also on a personal level, a lot had changed and gotten a lot better for me. So when the third record came around, I felt a lot more open and free and a lot more optimistic, and wanted to make an uplifting album. There's always going to be dark themes throughout and sadness, because that's, usually music that moves me, most in a lot of ways. It takes me through a lot of different emotions. But I think there's a lot more hope on this album, and I wanted to make something that felt nostalgic and represented the idea of a more innocent time. And for me, that was probably, the mid to late 80s and 90s in a lot of ways, and a really special time for me musically as well.
When we, when I heard you say alone, that's a common theme that I hear, amongst you musicians. I interview musicians regularly. How did you cope with that alone feeling? Especially like when you grew up in a musical household, your pops loved music, and you feel like you're theoretically you're at the top of the mountain, right? How did you deal with that?
Yeah, for my little mountain, yeah, it was weird, because I'd been coming from the underground and the underdog mindset before the first album. I'd only known failure, and came up through a very much DIY scene and stuff. So after having the success, I was sort of like, well, now what do I talk about or sing about? Because now I'm a liar if I talk about how hard times are, because everything had kind of changed for me. So that was an alienating feeling for sure, and it threw a bit of a handicap wrench in my lyrical program. So I went more inward and addressed some of the depression we all face, and heavier feelings, I guess, I was feeling. And I definitely wanted to make a strange sophomore album for sure, and go on a journey and take some huge risks with production and structure of the album and all that. And I'm very proud of the record of Run, but after surviving it, I just felt like, okay, no more fucking around. Let's get back to making uplifting, up-tempo songs that feel all very anthemic. And I wanted to make my own version of some of those records that were heavily influential to me in the 80s and 90s, as I mentioned. And a really important thing is I got a bit bored with the electronic sound of alternative rock and alternative rock music. It's hardly rock anymore, and it just sounds like, you know, the Backstreet Boys or 98 Degrees now to me. So I wanted to go back to what got me psyched on music to begin with. You know, there's great electronic music, don't get me wrong, but it's just I feel a need right now in music to hear real playing, real musicianship, real craftsmanship, and something that you can touch almost, you know, rather than these plastic sounds.
Yeah, I feel that.
That have kind of oversaturated the alternative market, in my opinion.